One of the most masochistic things I did to myself in 2024 was decide to read the entirety of Uzumaki before bed. I don't know why I did that to myself. That wasn't a smart decision at all. I knew what I was getting into. I did not watch the adaptation. I knew of Uzumaki, I had seen stills of it, I knew the general plot line, and after the adaptation came out and I learned about the struggles of the studio and everything, I was like, you know what? I think now's the time to read the original story, especially because a lot of YouTubers were like, just go read the original, maybe watch episode 1 and go read it. So I read the entire thing starting at like 8 o'clock at night. I could not sleep after that. It's cosmic horror. It's really good. Junji Ito is just so good at making what seems like mundane everyday into increasingly unsettling, and now we're in cosmic horror territory because there is nothing you can do to stop it. The thing is gonna happen, and it's, by the time you realize, oh, something's happening, it's already too late. You're not getting out of it. The art is fantastic. I love his art style, as unsettling as it is. The one with the fault in the side of the mountain was my introduction to Junji Ito, which do not read if you are claustrophobic. I also read his take on No Longer Human, the Dazai novel. He takes quite a bit of artistic liberty with it. I have such mixed feelings about this one. I did a compare and contrast, and he added additional horrific elements because it lended itself so well to his art, but also knowing that the Dazai novel is probably most likely autobiographical, and some of the plot lines that were added in, I don't want to say it's disrespectful, but it just feels kind of weird. A lot of people make the same argument for the movie Titanic because it's based on a real tragedy and they threw a Romeo and Juliet story on top of it. Though that's sweeter than what Junji Ito did to Dazai. Very well drawn. Do not read this one in public. I was starting to read it in public and then went, oh, yeah, I gotta go read this at home. It's a little more graphic than I was expecting. Also, not for the faint of heart. It gets into some very touchy subjects. Go on doesthedogdie.com so you can break it all down. Or just look at the Wikipedia for No Longer Human. That'll give you a pretty good picture of, is this for me? Because I don't think it's for everybody. I think it's one of those ones where if you're curious about the original Dazai novel and you want to see an artistic interpretation of it, it's worth a read. It's very philosophical at points, but it's not one that I plan on ever reading again, and I'd have a hard time recommending because of the graphic subject matter. This was probably the heaviest thing that I read last year. I'd mostly read a lot of fluffy novels, so if you want something as a palate cleanser, I got tons of recommendations for that. We'll see you when we talk about the next one.